Hello, hello. How you doing out there? This is your cousin Chief of GC Radio. And today I have the one and only legendary gentleman in the building, Mr. Nate Campbell. How you doing today, Nate?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
Man, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you here with us today. And we're here for the interview for Get Connected Radio and Square Ring Magazine. And for those who don't know who Mr. Campbell is, let me give you just a little bit of inkling of who Mr. Nate Campbell is. Mr. Nate Campbell is a native of the Jacksonville area. He has got in the boxing ring a total of 321 rounds, with 68.42% of them ending in knockouts, meaning that I don't want to be on the other side of that ring with him. So that is a lot of fights. And if those are really want to go a little bit more, Mr. Campbell has won 38 professional fights with 26 knockouts, 11 losses, and 1 draw, which means, man, I'm going back to the 321 rounds of fighting. Ooh, boy, bro, that's some serious training, dude.
Man, dude, listen, I've boxed more rounds than that because I've had some harder rounds than sparring.
But they don't count the sparring rounds, unfortunately, but they should because they're still in the ring.
Guess what? Some of them rounds with Randall Bailey. Some of those rounds with a guy named Teddy Reed. Some of those rounds with Sean B. Mitchell. Some of those rounds with Shane Mosley.
Wow. So
John David Jackson.
Man, I don't want to get in the ring with Action Jackson, man. I don't even want to be the water boy with him, bro. That's a bad dude. That's like Shaft. Shut your mouth.
That's a bad guy, man. Look, I pay homage to John David, and a lot of people don't know whenever they talk to me and they tell me they know John David. Everybody talks about the glowing, statements I make about him because I think the world of him. I think he's a god among ants to me. And
right.
I just think the world of him.
But John's a wonderful guy, man. Wonderful, wonderful human being. So, hey, do us a favor, man. Tell us a little bit about you. Growing up in Jacksonville area, what was life like as a child?
Well, just so you know, my book is coming out. Nate Camp. I have a book coming out. Be out March 7th. My life story. Right now, it's Nate Campbell, the Galaxy Warrior. Nate Campbell. All of Me is the name of it. You can look on Amazon. You can look on Barnes and Nobles, and you can pull that up. You can pre-order it. Man, I was poor. I grew up dirt poor. My father. I watched my grandfather down the front porch when I was 5. Went to see my father. My mother came and took me from my father, put me through some hard situations. Ended up going back to my father, lived with my father till I was 7. My father got really sick, couldn't protect me and take care of me anymore. So I went into foster care again. And I was there till I was 12. And I got back to my dad's family. And I was with them till I was 14. Then I went to stay with my mother. My mother ended up going to prison. I ended up back in foster care. And at 15, I decided I wasn't going back to foster care. So I've been on my own since I was 15 for the most part.
Wow. I mean, that's a lot of baggage and turmoil to go through at a young age, and still you survived and you have your story, and I can't wait to read this book and learn more about it. With that in mind, I know there was some angry issues and a lot of depression and pressed up feelings. How did you get into boxing? How did you transcend that to boxing as well?
People don't know that I started boxing because I had a broken heart. I started boxing because my first wife and I, it wasn't working. And I knew it wasn't working. And rather than cheat on my wife, I wanted to go off and do something else that would keep my mind occupied. It was bad. I'm gonna tell you, it was bad. It was bad. It was some days in that gym when I questioned, man, it was bad. I learned under much duress.
Wow.
It was bad.
So what age were you when you got in the gym? Were you like Golden Glove age or
Or
older? How old?
24.
Was it a disadvantage coming in the later years versus some of the cats coming in the youth and Golden Gloves, or you just came in like I got a lot of energy I need to blow off?
No, I'm stubborn. So for me, I knew I could be better than everybody else in the gym, even though they were really good. Shane Gannon was there. Manny Woods was there. Not Manny Woods. Emmanuel Porter was there. Stacey Harris was a good amateur. Lorenzo Cole was a good amateur. Joe Johnson was a good amateur. All these really good amateurs were there.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew who I was. I knew that I could do well, but they weren't gonna let you do well. You had to make yourself do well. I never forget the first day getting in the gym. I walked in the gym. He put me right in the ring. That day, I got knocked down. And
The first day in?
First day in the gym, he put me in. I got in with 168 pounder and 168 pounder named Jim Leary.
Uh-huh.
He planted me like a sago palm, deep. And I got up, and they said, "Oh, he ain't coming back." I was there the next day before the gym opened.
Wow.
Rapid. And the more he beat me, the more Jim Leary beat me, the more resilient I was. Until the last time he beat me. I never forget going out in the car, looking out in the car in the vanity mirror over my driver's seat. And I never forget looking at that vanity mirror saying, "You want to keep doing this? God damn." I'm like, they said a black man can't get a fat lip and black eye. I had 2 black eyes and 2 fat lips. He whooped my ass. And I never forget it. That was a Friday night. I went home. That was a Thursday night. I went home and I went to work that night. And before I left for work, I worked 11 to 7. I had a bag of peas on my face. A bag of frozen peas on my face. Just nothing like that. That bag. Oh God. Oh. And my daughter came up front. She said, "Daddy, you okay?" I'm like, "I'm good." Lips just as big. I said, "It's the last time Daddy gonna get beat like this." She said, "Okay, Daddy." She said, "Love you. Good night."
Wow.
And I never forget, that was the night it turned the corner. I came in, and the next that was Thursday night. We sparred on Friday. We sparred Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I came in for sparring Saturday. Jim Leary had fought that Friday. No, he had fought. He had a fight coming up, so he was out of the gym. He wasn't there for Saturday sparring. And that was the day I turned the corner.
So how was that day more horrific than the other days?
It was less horrific. That was the day I learned that if I boxed and stayed on my bicycle, I got hit less. So I boxed really good that day. And I built on that. It was about 3 months in, 3.5, 4 months in. About 4 months in. Once I turned the corner, I started to box more. The first week I boxed. The next week I was boxing and stalking. And everything just started, each week I started doing something different. And after about a month of doing that, Frank said, "It's time for you to fight your first fight. You're not getting your ass kicked anymore every day." That was it.
See, I'm glad you're telling your side of the story and telling it, because a lot of people think, I can do push-ups and pull-ups and I got beef and anger issues. Let's get in the ring. It's more to it. It's more fight. It's like anything you do well is practice, and there's more battles in sparring than the actual fight sometimes.
Not more battles, more losses. Let's call it what it is, dude. Man, listen, these jokers was lining my ass up. And I'm talking about lining me up. Lining me up. Think this is lined up? No, it was lined up. Lining me up, bro. And good thing, now I do stand-up comedy because John told me he wanted me to try stand-up comedy because I was always saying something funny. My sense of humor and my stubbornness and my sense of humor made me stay in the ring. And that's the competitive side of me. I didn't want them to. I'm like, fuck that. They're gonna have to kick my ass and just run me out of here.
I spoke with John Action Jackson, and John had some comments about you. Want to hear what John had to say?
Oh God.
John said that, when he met you, you came with a reputation. But when he started training with you, your reputation didn't fit the person that he trained. He said that, he was told that you were going to be hard-headed, you weren't going to be disciplined, you wasn't going to stick with it, and you showed him everything the opposite. And he's glad he liked to judge people by their actions and not what other people tell him. He said that you have the heart of a lion. You are stubborn as all get out. You're gonna stick it in until you get it right. And he said, in anything that he asked you to do, you went in and did it and some. So he said you were easy coachable, and he loved the way that you took a serious side to the sport that you trained in. He said that you were an excellent athlete and someone to work with. And I said, wow, that was amazing from a trainer.
Let me tell you something. That man, that guy right there did it for me. He was my guy. And I tell people, I say, I would do that for any trainer. I was gonna always listen to my trainer. But it was something about what John said. When he said it, I knew he believed me. He believed in me. And when everything went sideways, John was the one person that looked me in the face and said, I'm not gonna leave you. I'm never gonna leave you. And I told him, I said, yes, sir. And from that moment on, through my worst moment, he said that to me. And I told somebody, they said, dude, you seem like anything John tell you, you'll do it. You'll run through a fucking wall for him. I said, yep. Because evidently something on the other side of that wall he needs me to get to. And I would do it because I believed in him. And I think when a fighter believes in their trainer, I think that's better than when a trainer believes in a fighter. He is my guy. To this dude, he's my guy. He is that. That's my guy. I don't give a damn who know it. And I've heard people say stuff about John. I told the guy, I said, let me tell you something. You got your opinion, but if you keep running my man into the ground, a fight gonna come with that. And I mean that. And I've been known to carry a pistol. So do what you do.
And one thing I would say about John, another thing John and I had a conversation about, maybe commentating some other stuff, but John is very real and honest and open. And a lot of people can't handle that honesty.
Hey, he's honest. And dude, he don't say, dude, a lot of folk don't, they look at John because he's real quiet. John be taking low-key shots at niggas.
John throw low-key shade, huh?
And be like, and he'll say stuff, you be like, this joke. John had a saying whenever I come in the gym, this nigga, yeah. And that was his thing. Yeah. And John, listen, John's wife is my girl. John's wife will call me and talk to me about stuff. To this day, if she needs me, she'll call me. She'll call me, and she'll call me Booby. Booby. She'll call me by my nickname. And I tell people, I said, let me tell y'all something. Captain, my sister. John, my brother. John, dude, I look. If a joker tell me right now there's something popping off with JD, just know if he all by himself, it's gonna be me and the cats I bring with. This is my family. My family. If my family members find out something wrong, and I got cousins who will get in their car and drive to John City about John. That's my family. He is family to us. My daughters, I had a daughter who's a police officer. She loved John to death. Their birthdays are 3 days apart. John is that guy, man. Guys don't understand how real it is, how great it is to have a trainer who tell me they ain't teaching shit no more. He'll say that to your face. Man, look here. Hey, look here. You ain't got no teacher no more. He get stuttering. If you ever see him, if he pointed you like this, them 4 fingers, it just got serious, bro.
Yeah. John's a great guy, man. And you a great guy too,
Thank you.
Nate. People got to understand, and I said this on my morning show earlier today, the way we interact with people, we give them an experience, negative or positive, hopefully more positive, negative. And that turns to the second part of that is that the two type of people you meet from those experiences. People bring happiness when they leave, when they get the hell away from you.
Right.
And the other was when people bring happiness when they come around. You can't wait to see them. If you say, I can't wait till they end, leave, or, oh, there go my dog, it's all based on the experience that you have with people that you leave. And that's up to us to put that out there because we control the energy and what we put out there in folks.
John David, for me, Buddy McGirt, I trained Buddy McGirt first. And he had a great training camp. All of us became the Black Brothers. Sean B. Mitchell, Arturo Gotti, Tony Tarver. Even though Tarver and Roy was at odds, he was my stablemate, and we didn't get along at all. But to this day, now me and Tarver get along great. But it took us going through that to learn how to deal with each other because we were too much alike. Both were very driven, very stubborn. So we were like, dude, both of us had that energy. But when I got with John David, me, Alan Green, Randall Bailey, Devo, Damian Frias, his name, Charles Whitaker, Joe Green. Alan Green's like my little brother. Everybody know that. Alan's like my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
John David Jackson. It was Glenn Johnson would come through the gym. It was Richard, what's Richard's last name? Fought Roy Jones. Richard, he fought Roy Jones. He fought Roy. He went to the Hall of Fame. And it was just so many great fighters around me, especially at that time in Florida. People also got to remember, I came up in the era when Jeff Lacey, Winky Wright, Tony Tarver, David Santos, so many. Keith Thurman was an amateur. Berto was an amateur. I came up in Florida when boxing was boxing. So,
Wow.
So for me to have those guys come together like we came together, we still to this day talk to each other like we in training camp. It could be long periods of time. I talk to JD, what up, bro? It's like I just love him. He's that kind of friend that we never lose time. Randall Bailey called me. He'll call me, hey, bro, check this out, huh? Alan Green will call me. Hey, I need you to do something for me. Okay. Charles Whitaker and me was together in Atlantic City or somewhere, wherever we were just together.
Mm-hmm.
Down in a friend of mine's get together. And it's just that era of Florida boxing and that era in boxing changed the way boxing was. Boxing was such a intricate part of human anatomy in Florida in the early 2000s, the late 80s on, from the late 80s up to here recently. Boxing was a staple in Florida homes.
Wow.
It's the greatest era. You got to realize something. The greatest era of boxing in the state of Florida happened when I was fighting.
Facts.
Roy Jones, Tarver, Winky Wright, Jeff Lacey, David Santos, me, Smoke Gaynor, Vince Phillips, Andre Berto, Keith Thurman, Tavares Cloud, Prince Arthur Williams. Dude, I can just, and I ain't through yet. Freeman Barr. Shall I keep going?
Man, you already named a lot, bro. That's a hell of an era, bro.
Dude, and we all fought together. Imagine this. In Tampa, you could walk into the gym, Pete Frasina, Anthony Vasquez. Dude, we walk into the gym and we be in the gym together. Carlos Bam Vasquez, Oscar Gonzalez. You got Dude, you walk in the gym and it's dude, it's man. And
So
guys
so
from here.
so y'all can have a blockbuster fight any day. Somebody start feeling a little cocky. Well, get in the ring.
Dude, we made Philadelphia. We made Philadelphia look like a day camp. Because you had one or two guys in Philly. You had, put it this way. At that time, either the best fighters were training here or living here or from here.
Facts.
I was in a convoy going to Tampa from Vero, going to St. Pete from Vero. And it was Buddy McGirt, me, Clifford Etienne, Cedric Boswell, Angel Manfredi, and a few other guys in this van. Buddies in the van in front, it was Arturo Gotti, Suleiman Mbaye, I think. Or he was, we met him when we got there. It was Freddie Cadena, David Estrada. It was, dude, all in these two vans going to an event. All us in camp together. Sean B. Mitchell. All us in camp together.
Wow.
All us in camp together. All us stablemates. So we are in the van, and I looked around the van. I said, dude, do you realize if these vans wreck right now, we would totally change the whole, if we died in these vans, they would totally have to change the way boxing is ranked right now. We had more top 5 fighters in those two vans in that place than was in more top 5 fighters in those two vans than I had ever seen in person.
That's crazy.
Dude, Clifford Etienne came out of a booth. We stopped at Burger King to eat. And Clifford Etienne came out and said, I had everybody laughing. I said, yep, you know, y'all better watch him. Y'all know he'll go in there and steal something now. You're wrong. Everybody's not laughing. So Clifford get in, and I said, Clifford, I thought you relapsed. He said, whatever, baby. I'd have got him. And something he said was so funny. Cedric Boswell was sitting right in front of me. Clifford was sitting to my left. And when he said it, I had soda in my mouth, and I went to catch the soda. Turned my head, and soda splattered out my mouth like this on the back of Cedric Boswell's head. Listen, I said, so he took the, all right, nigga. I said, my bad, bro, my bad. So I went to do it again, and Clifford said something that was even funnier than he said before. I took my hand and put it over my mouth with the straw and all out on the back of Cedric's head. Cedric said, turn around. I told you, I said. I ain't lying. I said, you right, Cedric. You right. I had my knife out in my other hand. I said, I don't even want no more to drink, Cedric. I am sorry. And I put my cup on there. I had my knife out like this. That's letting Cedric know you ain't finna kill me on the back. Even though you're right, I ain't gonna let you just beat me. Dead right. Right now, right, I'm dead wrong. And I don't want no more of this soda.
He said, we got to cut this out by all means necessary.
Look, you are not finna break me on the back of this bus. And to this day, he'll call me, Cedric Boswell will call me and talk shit to me. He'll say, man, I'm going to bust in your mouth when I see you. I said, who is this? He said, and don't bring your knife. I said, oh, Cedric. Dude, and so the stuff that we go through, I went in Florida at that time. Florida was so inundated with boxing training camps and Don King camps, and everybody had a camp here. Right. Or a fighter here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Richard Hall. Fought Roy Jones, Richard Hall. Dude, all you liable to bump into anybody in the gyms here. Florida was, I came up in the greatest era of boxing in Florida, man.
Right. And if my memory serves me right, I think you fought in 3 or was it 4 different weight classes?
35. I fought in 26, 30, 35, 40, and 47, and 54. But I fought from 26 to 47 my first 5 fights.
Whoa.
And I didn't care who I was fighting. I left my good job at Winn-Dixie. I had to make up for that money. My girl still had to eat. Dreams be damned.
So that's right. I mean, that you fought featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight, right?
Featherweight, junior lightweight, junior welterweight, and junior middleweight.
Woo. Man. And kicked butt and took names in each one of them.
I think nobody went the distance. At 130, very few guys went the distance. I think at 30, one guy went the distance, and up to that point, one guy had went the distance at 35. Everybody else got stopped. My average when I made it to TV, my average rounds was 4.5 rounds of boxing. When I signed to Main Defense, I was 19 and over 17 knockouts.
So what age did you go professional?
27 years, 11 months.
So 3 years in, you went from amateur to pro?
2.5. I made Olympic trials, and I didn't think they was going to treat me fairly, so I went pro. And I should have stayed amateur because I'd have went to the Olympics. Because they called me to go because I was on the alternates list.
Now let me ask you this magical question. Now you told us when you got in the gym and you were sparring, getting beat up, and you got better, and they said, "Okay, it's time to start fighting." What was it like your first amateur fight versus your first professional fight?
I was nervous my first amateur fight. I was nervous. My first pro fight, I was like, whatever.
He was like, bring it.
Hey,
Finish him.
I was like 147, mind you. I want to say the guy was 5-14, 147, named Scoy Fields. We became really good friends. And I weighed in at 138, 139 or something like that. I had to eat to keep my weight up because I was so small as far as weight wise. I was wide through the shoulders and I was muscular, but I wasn't heavy.
Right.
And so I fought at 130, 147. Then I fought at 131. Then I fought at I came back and I fought at 130, 133 or 134. Then I fought at 128.
Okay.
Then I fought at 147 because the guy came in overweight.
So when he came in overweight, how did y'all do that?
I weighed in at 135. He weighed in at 147.
Uh-huh.
I told him, I said, give me a minute. I went over to the buffet and I ate. And I came back and weighed into my clothes.
Because they only let you fight so many pounds off, right? Or how does it work?
Dude, let me tell you something. In the state of Florida, believe it or not, I'm kind of a legend. Even as an amateur, I was a legend. You only had four novice fights.
Okay.
Then I won the state championship my 5th fight.
Damn.
Then I went to the regionals and won my regional by knockout my 7th fight. Then I went to the nationals and I was 9-1 when I came back from the nationals, number 5 in the nation.
Then Nate Campbell was a bad man.
Dude, and a lot of these kids wonder why I'm so hard on them. I'm like, dude, I'm hard on my fighters because I was hard on myself. And when I talk about my trainers was old fashioned. Frankie Menace, the Mino Aztec. He was Mexican, taught me to box.
Uh-huh.
Then I got Chico, Charles Williams, call him Chico. He taught me how to mug somebody, just rough a dude up. Then I got with Doc Williams, who taught me how to fight. Charlie Williams fought Archie Moore 3 times. He fought Jimmy Bivens. He beat one of only a few men to beat Charlie Burley. Go look him up.
Man, that says something right there.
He beat Bob Satterfield. bruh, I'm telling you, I got boxing lineage. He fought the Coco. He fought Abe Littell. Who's the best light heavy of all time? Harold John. He fought him. And told me, say, the first time he ever saw me, there was no YouTube, so he fought. First time he ever saw me fight like Charlie Burley, boy. I said, who? Charlie Burley. You fight like Charlie Burley. And
Right.
Doc and Frank were those guys, man. They waited for me. Between them, they waited for me for 100 years. 50 years apiece. They said they wanted to pour. They had been waiting on somebody to pour all their knowledge into. And they met me they met me within a year. Like Frank met me, then Doc met me through Frank, and then they got to pour their knowledge. Both they got to pour their knowledge into me. And both were so hard on me, man. I always said I never wanted a trainer. I wanted a trainer like Rocky's trainer. That hey, you bum, you're a bum. I had a trainer.
Why'd you want a trainer like Mickey, man?
Because Mickey loved Rocky, but he loved Rocky. People don't realize Mickey loved Rocky.
Well, it was evident. He did
Yeah.
everything he could to help him. And when Rocky realized in the later stage, in the last episodes of Mickey with him, he realized that he protected him with some of the fights. He didn't let him fight certain people.
Right.
He didn't want to see him hurt when he felt he should throw in a child, he wouldn't.
Right.
He still protected the best way he could.
Right. And he knew his fighter was limited.
Right.
But Frank didn't believe I was limited. Frank would tell you quick. Frank would tell you quick. Can't none of these motherfuckers beat my guy. Can't none of them beat my guy. Frank told me, he said, you put the pressure. They can't take pressure. They're bitches. And Frank was mean. He would, dude, I never forget this. I knocked the dude out in the second round of a fight.
Okay. When
I fought at 147. Frank cussed me out because he said I should have got him in the first round.
He's like, man, we had somewhere to go, man. We're gonna be late to the club. You should have did that 3 minutes ago.
If you ever meet him, I got a guy named Zach Familio. Zach is a matchmaker out of Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
Zach met me he met me my 9th fight. I took it the week before my 10th fight. I needed the money. And I knocked this kid out the first round, and I came out. I hadn't even broke a sweat. It seemed like. And Zach said, "Jesus Christ, you got theater tickets or something?" But what you know was they told me I had to knock the guy out earlier. They were gonna suspend me for 7 days for every round I fought. You get suspended for 7 days, and I had a fight the very next week. So I had to get this guy out of there for consideration.
So why was they suspending you again? What happened?
For every round you fight, they suspend you for 3 days or 7 days or something like that.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's good information.
Yeah,
so,
and that was to protect the fighter.
When did you get in contact with John, and how did you and John become together to be a team?
The guy named Charles Muniz, and Charles Muniz was my manager. He also managed Tony Tarver. So I was with Buddy, and Tarver was with Buddy, but Charles gave me to John because I said I needed more time. I needed somebody hands-on trainer because Buddy had so many great fighters. I felt like I was lost in the shuffle.
Right.
Buddy was a great trainer. I just wanted more time with him. I was more dependent than other guys. It was because I didn't have the big amateur career. And Buddy trained me great. Buddy taught me how to think.
So when you came with John, how did your career change? How did it impact your career with somebody more hands-on? And
I became champion. And a few years later, I became champion. I'm gonna tell you something. Mm-hmm. Once John found out that I was killing myself to make weight, that's when we got the weight right. Once I got the weight situation right, there was no stopping me and John.
Okay. Wow.
John was a dude. John taught me how to beat. Frank taught me how to box. Doc taught me. Frank taught me how to box.
Okay.
Rico taught me how to mug. Doc taught me how to fight. Buddy taught me how to think, and John taught me how to be.
So at this point, everything came full circle. You took something from each experience and kept that and added to the arsenal that you had to put against the person across the ring.
Dude, the first time I'm gonna tell you something. Johnny tell you this, but when John first came to, he sparred me. He wanted to see how I fought. John was whooping my ass, bro. Ain't no ifs, ands, but John was taking me down through there. When people see John David Jackson was taking me down through there. And he was doing it. We was in an empty gym. It was just me and him at World Class Boxing Gym up in Kingston, Georgia.
Mhm.
I had my gloves on, had his gloves on. It was an empty gym. And it was John hit me with a combination that was so crisp. I looked around and make sure wasn't nobody in the gym watching.
You speak yourself like you was a speed bag for the second.
And he'll take his side of it. I hit John with a double left hook. Bop, bop. John said, God damn, I thought he bust my head wrong. He said, all he thought I had was a right hand. Because that's all they told him. He said, this little motherfucker can punch with both hands. And John David taught me how to throw a lead left uppercut because I wouldn't throw one. I could, but I wouldn't. And I became world champion with a lead left uppercut.
Well, John said that you could box, that you could fight. He also said that you can turn it on when it was time to turn it on and handle business. But the most important thing, he said that you would never give up. He said he'd never give up.
Dude, it was more about what I was doing it for. I wasn't doing it for wealth or fame. My daddy, nobody ever knew only thing people knew about my daddy was he was a stone killer.
Right.
Started a street game called the Boomerang Game in Jacksonville. He was a member of that game.
Okay.
He was ran with these guys named Booney and all these badasses. And my daddy got sick and he died in 1982 on my 10th birthday, March 7th, 1982. I became champion March 8th, 2008. Did you catch that?
March 8, 2008.
26 years in one day, I became champion. From the day my daddy died. My father made me make a vow that I would. He said, listen, you say, Booby, let me tell you something, boy. He said, you're an athlete. He said, a lot of motherfuckers, they talk about they can do stuff. You can do anything you put your hand to. Anything you think you go, and that's the way my dad talked, is real geeky. He said, anything you want to do, you can do it. He said, I want you to make me a promise. He said, make me a promise. I want you to find something you love and stick to it. And you can be great at it. And because there was no boxing gyms, that was basketball. I was all American. I was dunking in 9th grade at 5'3". I was leaving the earth, putting nuts in your face. Bam!
So you spud well before spud well.
Oh, I was the one that showed me I could. So I lived in the gym. I lived on the leap machine. I went to the best schools I could go to, and I learned to play the game. And even all of it, I went even up in the junior college. I just did it, and I got married at 19, had kids, got a job. So I played basketball every weekend. I was a weekend warrior, and I was that guy. Every time you saw me play, people like this can play. And they started this under 6 foot league. They thought I was gonna play on that.
Okay.
And instead I found the boxing. And I instituted that same mindset in the boxing gym. I did. So for me, I did. I made myself 100% made myself. I willed myself to do it well because I wanted people to know that my father, Nathaniel Campbell Jr., he was here. I wanted my daughters to have a good name. So when you say, "Oh man, you Nate Campbell's daughter, you Nate Campbell's family," when people was, "Oh, you Nate Campbell's family," oh yeah, say that with a smile on their face and not ugh, Nate Campbell's family. That's what because I wanted my daughter's name to mean something. I want my daddy's name to mean something. So for me, that's what it was about. It wasn't about getting rich. It wasn't about that.
But Nate Gibb left a legacy, and the name Nate Campbell means something to everybody who's a fan of boxing.
Yeah.
And you made an imprint on the sport, bro. So what do we look for now? Let me ask you this: what was your last fight like?
I fought in May.
No, I didn't know you fought in May.
I fought it. I lost 50. I lost 45 pounds. I was chubby. I got to 198. I lost 45 pounds. And I went in the ring and I fought a guy named Julio Emilio, something like that in Colombia.
Okay.
He came in weighing 162.
162.
We're supposed to be 154. I made him lose weight, get to 156. And I fought him at 154. And the first time he threw a jab at me and I caught it, and I caught it in my glove, like I catch mitts. I looked over at my nephew and said, "Oh yeah, this is where we at tonight." It was just something about my blood getting my blood going, and only thing was missing was JD. And I felt like if I can't take JD with me, I don't want. If it's not gonna be worth, I just want to. I don't want to do it unless I take John David with me. It ain't the same. It ain't the same. The last 2 times I fought where John wasn't with me, I realized because John is not there. It's not that I can't fight. I think I fight better with JD around me. And a lot of guys don't. I'm emotionally tied to my friendship with JD. We brothers, we family, and I know what he wants from me, so I do it. I can just go out and do it. But a lot of people don't understand. And man, John didn't give you no instructions between rounds. No, he didn't have to. He gave them to me in the gym, and so I know what he wants.
Respect. And
even after that, we've been in the gym. John David was sparring one time. Joe Green, he got knocked down. He walked into the shot actually, and just went down. Joe Green hit him with a clean shot. Boom, down goes John. He goes down right in front of me. And Alan Green is next to Randall and Allen, right next to each other. They look over and say, "Man, make him stop." And I look over them and tell them the famous Don King line. How you gonna tell God he can't fight no more?
That's not gonna happen.
Alan Green looked at me and said, "You dead ass right, bro. You dead ass right, big bro." Randall even said, "You right, bro. You right. You right, Nate." And John said, "I said, you okay?" He said, "I'm good. I'm good." And for the next, I want to say 5 or 6, whatever round he had left, John didn't lose another round. And I knew right then what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wanted to be as savvy as John David Jackson. And that John David Jackson to me is probably one of my he's on my top. He's in my top all-time trainers list. He's up there with Jimmy with Angelo Dunn, with Emmanuel Stewart, Georgie Benton. John was trained by Georgie Benton and Emmanuel Stewart.
Wow.
People don't know that. Georgie Benton trained him, then he sent him to Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart took him to his first world title. And so John David has pedigree out of this world. And Manny Stewart worked my corner with John David one time. He said, "Boy, I'm gonna tell you something. Manny's favorite cuss word is motherfucker. People don't know that. This motherfucker don't want to fight."
I can just imagine being in that corner with John and Emmanuel. Man, come on, bro.
John coaching and this motherfucker don't want to fight. Go get this motherfucker body again. Stand his body. Manny Stewart loved me because I was so gritty. John loved me because I had these different facets to me.
Right.
John David will tell you about a specific fight I sparred named Nino Grajeda. Nino Grajeda was kicking everybody's ass in the gym one day. Ooh, he had beat my friend up so bad in the gym. My friend Zahami Gracia, I call his name. Zahami was my boy. Zahami was too tough for his own damn good. And Nino Grajeda was ruthless. 154, 147, nasty motherfucker. And he bust Jaime up one day in the gym. Zahami. He bust Zahami. I was mad. I told John, tell him I want to spar him. John said, no, we ain't going to do that. We're going to let Max spar us. I said, what? I said, okay, coach. Every day I came to the gym and hit mitts and got in shape. And about a week later, sparring time came around. Nino's daddy said, hey, yo, John, can we get some rounds in with Nate? John said, yeah, you get some rounds in with Nate. John said he had never seen me. John had really never seen me spar like I sparred this particular day. See, John always saw me walk guys down and beat guys up, and box. He never seen me stand in the pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So this day, John Davis said, I said, coach, I got it. So I went out the first round I'm talking nasty, mean stick. And when you think of me, you don't think that I got really long arms, but I got 72-inch reach.
72?
They list me at 70, but I have 72. So I'm
that's reaching out and touching somebody.
Oh, and I'm reaching out, touching Grajeda. Boom, bop, boom. So now he feel like he got to get inside. The whole time he don't know I want him inside. So I back up about 2 minutes into the round. I back up against the ropes and let him come to me. And he is I'm right in front of John. And he is getting off and I'm slipping, sliding, rolling. Boom, bop, boom. I'm busting him up. And so when the round ends, he got to walk across the ring and I'm in my corner.
Right.
Then he said, I said, coach, you want me to do? No, you keep doing what you're doing. Shit, but goddamn, Nate. What you do? The bell rung. I went out, boxed him a little bit, stepped back in my corner, and tore his ass up some more. I beat him up. I beat him up so bad standing in my corner, but he couldn't go out because he couldn't outbox me. So he had to stay inside and fight me because that's the only chance he had. And I took that from him. After the sparring session, me and John riding home. John drove a old school Acura Legend, the big box body Acura Legend. Boy,
right.
God damn, boy. He said, God damn. We drove from Westminster back to Anaheim.
Wow.
I said, JD, I want to stop at Taco. It was a taco joint like Taco Bell. I said, Del Taco. I stopped at Del Taco and he said, give what you want today.
I like to sweep by Del Taco, man. They got one of the best vegetarian tacos, man. I love it. It's quick and the go. It's cheap.
Bro, listen to me. John didn't say that was like John's introduction to what I could do to another fighter that was less than me. And John said the best 2 sparring sessions he's ever seen in his life is going to be either me and Randall Bailey or me and Shane Mosley.
What was sparring with Mosley like, man?
Shane had really fast feet. And Shane didn't know I was as fast as I was as far as my hand speed and that I was very definite about where I stepped. But Shane didn't know I could fight inside as well as outside. But Shane didn't realize how long my jab was. My jab was so much longer than his. My jab is like that. My reach is that much longer than Shane's.
Right.
And Shane like, stop. I said, put your arm out. When he put his arm out, we put our arms out. We stretched our arms out, right? Like this. Shane's arm was like that much shorter than mine.
So that means that he has to be about this much quicker because his arm is that much shorter.
Yeah, he couldn't hit me with no hooks. He couldn't catch me with body shots because my arms are so long I cover my body. Shane fell in love with my style. I fell in love with his, and Shane my guy. Shane is my dude. The best two sparring sessions John ever saw. The guys Shane and me. I told Shane, Shane, if you want me to, I'll push that bitch car off the cliff with her in it. He said his first wife. I said, I push that bitch car off a cliff. She done keyed this man car from the front bumper to the back bumper. S550 or S55 AMG kit, Mercedes Benz. I said, and I'm a car guy. She done keyed your damn car. You better get rid of this crazy helper. And we just would joke about stuff. And Randall Bailey hit me so hard with a right hand, bro. I can't even make this up. Randall Bailey hit me so hard with the right hand on top of my head. He shrunk my neck from what it is to this. He shrunk my neck all the way down to nothing. Randall Bailey can really punch.
Man, you got some amazing gladiator stories. With boxing, like you said, you learned so much from each trainer. And did you learn like different styles of boxing, or just a bunch of different techniques and bringing in different combinations?
Well, Buddy made me box more and think about stuff more. John let me just be. Frank made me box more. So there were two different strategies of boxing from two different guys. And when I say two different strategies, say from here with Buddy, well, with Frank, it was from here to here.
Okay.
With Buddy, it was from here back around to here again. All these other stuff. With Doc, it was with Chico, it was how to bump a man with the shoulder, lean in, turn the head on him, step around, pivot, hit him on the hip without the ref catching you, hit him underneath the cup, push him off, bang him on the forearm. It was that with Chico.
Okay.
That rough and rugged style. With Doc, it was the same stuff, but how to take a man, put your hand inside a man's cup and pull it to the right with your thumb of the glove, turn him away and make him block the referee and foul him 4 times before the ref get around the corner. Doc taught me that. Doc taught me how to beat a man up from the top of the glove all the way down before the elbow and all the way around from above the elbow all the way up to the shoulder. And you beat all that. So hit everything but the point of the elbow. He would just teach you how to break a man down. And Buddy, I went from trainer to trainer. Then I had other trainers along the way, like Lou Harris, Jimmy Williams, all time. Jimmy Williams would sit down and I would talk shop with him. I got to sit down and talk shop with Angelo Dundee and Emmanuel Stewart. I sparred Emmanuel Augustus. I just had so many guys that I was being in Florida, man. These guys gravitated to Florida. Jim McLaughlin, Pete Fernandez. I just had so many great trainers around me. Mike Gerald. And I would always go and listen to the trainers. Jimmy Waldrop. Jimmy Waldrop was my manager, but he was also a matchmaker, a cut man. He was everything. And so if you with me, I can stop a cut. If you say you don't have a cut man, I can come in. Give me somebody else to work the corner with me. I can stop your cut and get everything done for you. Everything in the corner. Because I had to learn it all. I had to learn to be a Swiss Army knife.
That's a good analogy, but it's facts though.
I had to learn, but okay. There came a time in my career where I would take all the different styles of boxing, drop it into a hat. And I would make my guys go in and pull out one, and that's the way I was gonna fight you. He would say box. So you know I was gonna box that round. Say inside all these different styles of boxing, or different fighters. You say Aaron Pryor, or Ali, or Ray Robinson or whatever style of fighter you tell me to fight like, I will fight like that guy in that round. And I had to learn that because I didn't have time to learn how to be a solid style. I had to fight for the. I had to be able to do anything. I had to be able to do anything because I was so far behind everybody else. So I was never a master of one thing. I was a jack of all trades and a master of none. But they say the actual saying is a jack of all trades and a master of none. But surely that jack of all is better than the master of one.
That's facts, man. Because especially like you said, you had to take all the tools of the Swiss Army knife and put it in your belt, and you had to take all the different styles. It just give you a lot more arsenal when you're in battle. People got to realize that boxing is a beautiful sport. It's a wonderful thing. But at the end of the day, it's two individuals, not the trainers, not their wife, not their kids. It's not the motivational speaker,
Nope.
your hype man. It's you and the dude across from you and 4 pair of gloves in the ring.
Yep.
And that's it at the end of the day. And how well you train and prepare will tell when that bell rings.
There's a guy that I fought who paid me. A lot of guys I fought paid me the most homage. But there was one guy named Ricardo, what was his name? Carlos Navarro. Carlos Navarro, his brother's name is Jose Navarro, who was an Olympian in 2000. So me and Jose were amateurs in 2000 cycle. Carlos was an amateur in the 96 cycle with Mayweather. He was an alternate. He used to spar with everybody. All the guys from 96, they all sparred each other. And they that weight group. So he sparred Mayweather, you know, all that. When I fought him, I was 20-0 with 18 knockouts, something like that. And he was a last minute replacement. He was left-handed. And I stopped him in the 4th round, I think, on Showbox. And he headbutted me and bust me open. But he made me fight. He gave me a different look. Taught me about losing focus in the fight, too. But I'll never forget him. One of my nephews came back and said, Nate, I'm going to tell you right now. All I'm going to tell you is this. Carlos Navarro just told us something about you, make us look at you so much different. I said, what you mean? He said, Carlos Navarro said, Nate Campbell was everything they said he was. That's the best. That's probably one of the best compliments I ever had told of somebody else. Between that and Joe Casamayor. Joe Casamayor was asked after the Diego Corrales fight, the first fight. He said, you fought Nate Campbell, you fought Freitas, you fought Corrales, you fought Campbell, the biggest punches in the division. Who is the biggest punch? He said, before, you know, he stutters. Joe stutters. Joe Casamayor has a stutter.
Right.
Before he could finish, Casamayor said, Nate Campbell. Campbell punched harder than all of them. He said, why? Everything he hit you with felt like a hammer. And those were I'm respected by my peers. And that's all I really ever cared about. I didn't care about being rich, famous. I just respected by my peers. And the coaches, the people around me, the coaches that I had respect me and love me. And they're gonna tell you some good things about me. But as I become a trainer,
mm-hmm.
Some of these kids that I've trained, they're gonna tell you all kind of bad stuff about he an asshole. And I tell people all the time, I say, bro, let me tell you something. I ain't changed. I would never cheat a fighter. I would never mishandle a fighter. I never treat a fighter like anything less than, but I would never coddle a fighter because nobody coddled me. So.
Wow, that's dope. That is dope. Man, we have learned a lot of stuff about you, man. I cannot wait to see this book, bro. When's the release date for this book?
March 7th, not my birthday, March 7th, 2025. I also have a book of poems coming out too, because a lot of people don't know this. When I'm sitting in most of the poems that I wrote in training camp.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote about how much I loved the woman I was with, or the women I was with, the woman I was with, or my children. I thought about, for me, boxing. I wrote about how much I love boxing. I can't find the poem. I think I'm going to rewrite it. I wrote a poem about how boxing is like that woman that you know you shouldn't date, but she's toxic, but you love her so much.
Okay. You want to share one of those with us, bro?
No, man, I gotta read them. I don't.
Okay, no problem at all. No problem.
But
So let the people here know where they can find you, Nate, on social media. Find out about the book.
um,
Find out about just get you as a trainer or any other things you have going on. How can they reach you?
you can reach me at there are two numbers. You can reach me at 904-600-9075. That's my boxing gym. 904-600-9075. That's Galaxy Boxing Refuge. You can reach me on Instagram at the Galaxy Boxing on Instagram. That's GALAXXY. You can also reach me at the Galaxy Warrior on Instagram. The Galaxy Warrior. You can reach me at Nat Turner Campbell on Facebook, and on TikTok, Nate Campbell. It's just, and you can also hit me up and at 904-520-0090. That's my alternate boxing gym number. 904-520-0090. I train a lot of pros. I'm training a lot more pros now. Hopefully I get this. I can get Adrian Broner ready for his next fight. Bring him back.
I thought Asian retired. You coming back?
Yeah, the last fight he really wasn't able to put his all in. The kid been sat out for a year, and they threw him in a hard fight. Really had a weight loss camp. He really wasn't able to really train the way he wanted to train because he really was he and Bang Williams sat out for roughly a year, and that's a long time to sit out and then go into a tough fight. So hopefully I'll be able to get these guys back on track. I think Adrian has something left. He gotta focus.
Aiden's a hell of an athlete, man, no matter what you say. And the few fights I think he shouldn't have fought because he really wasn't trained. He might have made the weight, but he didn't really train.
And this
But when when AB is on his game,
it's a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
he can't talk enough smack to back up what he can bring, but he got to be on his game.
I told Adrian Broner today, I said, I need the problem. I don't need AB. I need the problem.
Ooh, you going back?
I need
him go back. You making him go back. A lot of people forgot about that.
That's what I need. I need the problem. I'm gonna tell you something. If push came to shove, I might bring John David in and have him work as someone that as not an alternate, but as a consultant. I'm gonna get my brother paid. Y'all talk all y'all want. Because John has I think John David he's that guy for me. But I think Adrian Broner can make a comeback if he puts his mind to it.
It's going to take what you realized that it was taken from you. You needed that personal trainer, and you needed somebody not to have you in a stable of great fighters and gladiators, but to give you the one to make you that great fighter. And that's an Adrian. He need that personal attention right now. And if he still have it in his heart, I know you can bring it back out.
And that's all I want. And all I want is a chance to bring it out. And everybody he had with him has been good trainers. I just think Adrian. I think it's Adrian. I told Adrian, it's you, brother. It's all on you. It's all on you. And I know that. And so for me, he's had Kevin Cunningham. He's had Mike, Max Stafford. Some other, but dude, ain't nobody gonna ever get him where he need to go but him. I believe in him. But I told him, I said, but you gotta believe in yourself.
Facts. Those are true facts. Man, Nate, man, it's been an honor, bro, having you here and appreciate you keeping it 100. And getting to tell your story your way and letting us all into your life, bro. A lot of stuff that you share with we didn't know from inside the ring, behind the curtains, growing up and everything, man. I mean, we really get to see you as the person, not the boxer, not the trainer, not the poet or the author, but as Nate Campbell. And I really appreciate that, bro.
Thank you. I want everybody to know that, look, we human. We are so human. We're so human. I said this once before. I didn't think I was special. I just knew what I was destined. I was born to do, and what my destiny was. I just got up and did put in the work. I just got up and put in the work. I put in the work. And I think that these young men, if these young men would allow us to teach them, the old guys like John David, myself, Kenny Ellis from Seattle, Kenny Ellis, the Emerald City Assassin, those old school guys, if they allow us to train, to not train, to teach them, we can take boxing back to where it once was.
Wow. Well, I would like to keep in contact with you, Nate, and have you part of what we're doing over here at Square Ring Magazines. For those that don't know what we're doing over here at Square Ring Magazine, we're being a networking entity to boxing. If you want to be a trainer, you want to be a manager, you want to be a coach, you want to be a ring announcer, you want to be a designer for the outfits for the boxers, we have a Clubhouse monthly, bi-monthly conference we do on Clubhouse. There'll be an annual conference in Reno, Nevada, or Las Vegas, and we bring all the missing pieces, the links together to the puzzle so that you can network with everyone. And we also have a boxing annual that we're going to do. In the annual, it's going to have all the people's names, their credentials, and how to network and get a hold to them. So we doing a lot over here at Square Magazine. We're more than just a publication. We're more than looking for advertising. We're really looking for the real inside stories behind boxing, boxing safety things, letting people know the real that really get out there. We're not going to be the gatekeepers to boxing. We're trying to raise there and let everybody in that want to get in and do their thing. So it's we want to be the people's voice to get echoed and the people's place to meet and network for boxing. So it's more than just a magazine. It's boxing lifestyle, boxing arena, boxing platform, and it's here for everybody that would love to take place and part in the sport. So with Square Magazine, Nate, like I said, you are always a champ with us, bro. We love to have you back.
Thank you, man. Hey, John David Jackson. If any of y'all want to reach him, y'all got his number. That guy right there is a great trainer, and I'm a trainer myself. Somebody said, "Why do you always push John?" Said, if you in South Florida, first trainer. I just do. I know a lot of people don't get it. I know that they think that a lot of people be like, well, "He's like your competition right now." No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. I don't see him that way. Fighters, a lot of people don't get this. I was once taught you can't train everybody. You can't make all the money. So since I know that, if anybody looking for a trainer, a coach, a teacher, John David in the South Florida area, around Miami, Fort Lauderdale, John David Jackson is your man.
There you go. There you go. And you can't get it better for nobody to become a student, to become a teacher, and admits that, from all aspects of life, you're supposed to learn something. You're supposed to grow. And even from this, you're challenging me within myself, hearing the determination of not giving up, trying to get all the pieces together and put them together yourself and not wait for somebody to do it for you. The determination not to quit. With us over here at GC Radio, just to let you know, we started out a year and 1 week ago, and we were ranked 10,580 something internet radio stations out of all of them on the world. And the day we ranked in the lower 3,000s in 1 year, and we also at 132 different countries. So it's two things I'm going to say, I'm going to let it go. Mike Tyson said something. He said, discipline is doing the stuff you hate like you love it.
Exactly.
And he also said nothing to beat a man or a woman that won't quit. Because if you won't quit, it ain't over. It ain't over till you quit.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of people miss this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people miss this. Boxing is not just about how well you do it. It's not. Sometimes it's about how well you stand up. You know what I'm saying? How well you stand up. If you can stand up, sometimes getting up is the biggest part of the fight. That's it.
Nate, let me ask you this. Have anybody ever hit you so hard that you went down, but when you got back up, they're like, I can't believe this bastard got back up? You can see him just quit. You can see him want to quit. Like, will you please stay down?
I've only been knocked down one time in my pro career. I got pulled down one time. They counted as a knockdown, but I've only been knocked down one time. As in an actual fight. But I've been hit so hard that when I went back to the corner, John David laughed about it. I told him, "Woo, this motherfucker, he can punch." And I thought about it. But when I came out the next round, I wanted to make sure that he knew it was coming.
So you just answered the second part of that question. Have anybody ever hit you so hard that when you bounce back, they wanted you to quit?
I thought Ali Fanika hit me so hard, I was looking for my pistol.
You know you can't bring that in the ring, but he was looking for it.
I was looking for it. I went to pat, knocked the cool out of me. Duke can punch. But yeah, man, look, you can find, and look, for those who wanna my book is gonna be in Spanish as well as English and a few other languages. I'm gonna send you the book cover, and maybe you could post it.
Sure.
So you can see it. It's all right now. It's on Amazon as well as Barnes and Nobles. You can pre-order right now. I was number one on Amazon. I was the number one pre-order on Amazon the first day I went up.
Wow.
And
we'd love to have the link on our website, and like I said, and have you over, man. Like I said, we're gonna have our boxing magazine. We're gonna do a digital directory of who's who in boxing, and we'd love to have you on there. And a lot of trainers, like I said, it's a networking. So people that want to find a trainer,
put me on. My gym can use all the help, man. I'm telling you, these boxing gyms don't make money like they used to.
Okay.
And more, hey, I do stand up comedy on the side. I'm gonna be selling boy pussy before this over.
Well, if you want to do some comedy, man, we also have a comedy radio station. We just partnered with Human Meal TV. So we even got Myron Jules, Rodney Perry, Shane.
Man, Rodney Perry, stop playing.
No, he's on Human Meal Get Connected Radio. Rodney Perry's flagship comedian, Myron Jules, and also Shane.
Rodney Perry was on Wild and Out. Told her, you got a pretty mouth for this motherfucker. Hell.
Rodney, believe it or not, when Rodney first started, we met in Oakland, California. I used to do a comedy tour called Faces of Comedy. And I used to pay Rodney Perry, Cat Williams, Earthquake, AJ Jamal. What's the guy that played Eazy-E in the video? AJ Johnson. I used to get them cats like 150 to open, like to host or something like that, and do a night, maybe like $1,000. And these guys were getting a lot of work, So I would even if we have a lot of conversation, man, let me get on tonight. Man, the budget, man, I don't care, man. Give me $200-300, and Cat was people like you. I said, man, me and Cat go way back. We talked to Cat and asked about Big Rob in Oakland, like that's my guy. We go way back.
And the cat is him. Cat is the.
So you will do some comedy, bro. We have a 24-hour comedy radio station. We can put your skits on there, bro.
I gotta work out some jokes. I'm always working out some stuff. I had a friend of mine who does comedy with me. He tells me, he said, Nate, you write finished jokes because everything. He said, basically it's what you just said. I'm a comeback guy, and
right.
My mother was hilarious. My father's hilarious. So when you got two people around you that's always coming back at each other, gotta do.
Right. But I mean, you come with some good stuff, man. I give it to my boy. My boy works with K100. He's one of his writers, J-Dub. He wrote Night School. He wrote
K100, get my jokes. I'm telling you right now. I already said they be talking about K100 stealing jokes. If you steal my joke, I'm putting up on you. Ain't no talking.
Listen, bro. J-Dub have his own publishing company. They write jokes. He do their own production company. So I'll put you with JJ, good people, bro. And
my thing is, I think that if you can't tell a joke, damn it, give it to somebody who can.
Sometimes you need somebody to refurbish your joke and help you write it a little bit funnier. And that's some of the things that they do as well.
You do. You definitely got to get them kind of guys that do that. Joke writers are very, very big to have.
Right.
A lot
I mean, it's just like having a puncher and a slugger coach, you know. I mean, this is what amazes me. So I sit back when I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was explaining that in all aspects of life that we need to practice. And they said, "Why you figure?" I said, "Okay, when you see the basketball players in NBA, what do you see they do before the tip off?
warm up.
They warm up. And what is warm up? Practice.
Just
And
practice.
even these guys are professionals in the league. They got a shooting coach. They got an agility coach. They got a speed coach. They need to stay on top of their game. So no matter what you're doing in life, you can always learn and perfect what you're doing. You need somebody to look at you that's looking through the window to see what you're doing imperfect to help you get better. It's only then that you raise your level, whatever it is. And when I do these interviews and when I get on my morning show and people laugh at me, my wife laugh at me, my kids laugh at me, I might listen to that show maybe 6 or 7 times that week because I want to make sure I don't make the same mistakes and my delivery is better and the energy that I bring out is better. Because with radio, people can't see me. They hear me. It's my voice.
Gotta feel you.
Exactly. And people feel fake and real. You got to pour you into the airways and they tune in. And internet radio is twice as hard because you can't just go in your car and turn on a station. You got to set up the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi, and get over here and tune in. It's a couple more steps.
Yep. Listen, I'm finna start opening my gym up. I'm just come in and work out in the ring about twice a month.
Okay.
And just come and work on these jokes. Basically, like.
Okay, if you go do that, man, we'll partner up and we'll stream it live on the station. We'll put it on the podcast station. We'll figure out a way to make it in amateur night. We do it amateur night in the ring and do a promo with the magazine. We'll make something happen. We'll figure it out, Nate.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to that.
You got my word. Hey, this is recorded. First of all, it's live on Facebook and YouTube, and you're gonna have a copy. So I can't. My words is out there. You have my word, bro.
I'm in here trying to grab some lunch before I go back to the gym.
Okay.
I was gonna build a gun today, but you messed that all up.
What kind of gun you was gonna build?
I built the Creed ball last time. I'm looking. I have a 300. I have a 308 pistol that I was gonna build today. Because I was gonna build it for a friend of mine because I have one. He loves mine.
Okay.
12.5-inch barrel. 1 in 9 or 1 in 10 twist. Light and trigger. Whole 9.
All right. Well, I might when I come to Florida, we have to sit down. I might just check out your arsenal. You might have to build me one, man. So I have a custom piece.
But you can't shoot it. You're in California.
I'm actually in Mississippi, bro. In Vicksburg, Mississippi, right now.
Oh, Vic, you got a gun down
there?
So
I go back and forth.
California, Mississippi. You gonna need a gun out there.
You gonna need about 2 or 3.
So, hey, Bubba, I don't think that boy has a gun. But hey, come here, boy. Let me talk to you.
But you know what, dude? I will say that I like about Mississippi, man. You know, it some parts do live to its reputation.
Yeah.
But the parts that do live to the reputation, they let you know up front, we don't like you. We don't want your money. We don't even like your kind. We don't want you around us.
Don't you? Hey, listen to me.
But I can respect that because at least you know where you stand.
Listen to me. I hate when all these people keep talking about racism. And I keep saying, let me tell you something. I know racism. You know racism. And I like my racism stewed to perfection. I want to know how you feel about me.
Amen.
Ain't nothing like that. And somebody like, oh, President Trump is racist. I know he ain't. He's insensitive. There's a difference. I know insensitive and racist. He ain't racist. He's insensitive. Don't get it twisted. You can't talk to me about racism. You have no fucking idea what racism is. Racism is not what makes your feelings hurt. That's not racism. And that ain't even bigotry. The problem is they've attached racism to so much stuff that has lost all of its power. People don't realize somehow How old are you, Jay? How old are you, bro?
I'm 53.
We about the same age. I'm 52. Do you know I'm the first generation in my family that can walk through the front door in my city? Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. My generation, my sister who's she's 60, she's 62.
Uh-huh.
She's 62 right now. I'd be 53. She's 9 years older than me. She had to go through the colored entrance.
You know, I posted a joke, and I want people to work out on my Facebook page. It says I'm going out at the end of the night. Before next week, I go out and it says whites only, a color in the back. And I just want people to be conscious of like what the Project 2025 is and a lot of stuff they're trying to do. I went to Jackson State University in 1992. Y'all don't have to believe me. Google it. Get the facts. Um, a lot of us, from Chicago, California, everywhere other Mississippi students got together, and then we went out and befriended all the gangsters, all the gangbangers in Jackson that were cool, that where we could talk to, and we all got together and we marched down Capitol Street, Main Street, to the city Capitol, and we got them to protest to change slavery because up in 91, 92, it was still legal to own the slaves on the state books Constitution, and we had to
Yep,
take it off.
yep.
And people like, you lying. I'm like, look at the
Nope.
facts. Google it. It was in 92. It was legal. And we had this big protest, and they had it on the news, and they had the KKK came out and they tried to stop us from marching. But it was so many of us and bearing arms. They told them, the state troops, some y'all got to leave. We can't protect y'all. So they had to leave, and we were successful in our mission. So I understand what you're talking about. And racism is going to be no matter where you go, even within our own kind, because of the Willie Lynch syndrome, and we've been trained that way for years. But I'd rather have, like you said, the
Open.
racism openly and know where you stand, and to go in areas you think you're comfortable and get food.
But I'm gonna say something.
Mhm.
Let me tell you something. The 2025 deal that everybody keep talking about, Trump didn't have nothing to do with that. That was written years before him. Years before him. I know y'all think that, but it ain't him. But
I'm gonna give you props. It was
but
written.
hold
It was
on,
written
hold on.
before. But just like, let me say that. But just like everybody thought that Miss Harris wrote the Three Strikes Law. The Three Strikes Law was way before her, before she became a politician.
Who? Who you say?
Kamala Harris. Everybody said that she wrote the Three Strikes Law, which is not true. That was way before.
Listen to me. It was the three strikes law was a part of the 94 crime bill.
Thank you.
Day for day. Listen. Let me tell you something. I read the project 2025. There's some stuff and I agree with. I'm sorry. I grew up in a time when black folk worked together. Wasn't nobody killing each other.
Right.
That's so offensive. Project 2025 will get you niggas back to get y'all from shooting each other. Man, I'm going to say this. The neighborhood that I grew up in, my mother, Shirley Hayes, has a house in it. I grew up in a house. My foster mother. One of the four I had. They called me the other day about buying her house. I said, "No, we good. She don't want to sell. She dead. My sister live in the house." I ain't tell her that. I told my brother Mike, "You tell sis to keep that house up to snuff, because they gonna get that house from her. They gonna tax it where you can't afford to stay there. You get what I'm saying? And this is what has to be understood. When we live together among each other, and our dollar circulated among each other the way it was supposed to during the 20s, from 1865 to the 20s, and we had all those black Wall Streets, we did better. We were better educated. We had better families. We had more businesses. We owned all the business for the most part. You had to buy from another black man. That's how you're gonna do business. But the problem is, as soon as desegregation was allowed into your community,
Separation.
Now, the very people that you're supposed to love and care for, you kill and dismantle on a daily basis. It's high time for us to get back together as one. We look, 17 million or more abortions since 1973? Come on, man. Work with me. I'm gonna work with you. We're killing each other, dude. You think them 20 million people that let come into the country was by mistake? I want Donald Trump to get them out of the country. Them is black jobs they taking. Any job where a man can feed his family is a black job. And they taking it. Let me tell you something. I live in Florida, where the governor's made it illegal for you to hire an illegal alien. That means that we do better. But if you in California or Chicago, bro, them black folk ain't got no jobs out there. Them black folk ain't gonna be. Imagine what's gonna happen when Trump leave office if he don't remove them from the country. It's really finna get dangerous out here. You better hope you remove them from the country. I go to Colombia my girl live in Colombia, by the way. So I know Colombia. Mm-hmm. Medellin, Cartagena, Bogota, Santa Marta, Barranquilla, Tuluá, Melgar. Oh, I travel, bro. I travel. Cali, place called La Florida, which they got a town called La Florida in Colombia that'll make Chicago look like downtown New York City. Good. They don't play around now. They shooting each other over taxi rides. Yeah. So don't tell me about how bad it is here if you ain't never traveled nowhere else. Crime picked up in Cartagena. You know why I picked up in Cartagena? Because a lot of guys left and came to Colombia instead of coming to America. And they robbing for jewelry and rings and necklaces and watches. And guess who's getting hurt? Americans. Why? Because a lot of these Americans, I'm gonna give you one. BJ Flores was down in Medellin, and he had on his Rolex. From what I heard, the first bullet that they shot at him went past his head. The next one went through his knee. Those are the people that come from those other countries into this country. And yes, they do eat your pets. There's the pets of the apartment complex. A friend of mine's dad came here from Honduras. Just some give you something. He said these stupid Americans, all this food walking around over here. You know what he was talking about?
The dogs and cats.
No, the ducks in the pond. You know they have those ducks that swim around the pond. That old man went out and cut one of them ducks' heads off that night while he was here. Dad, no. He said, you're stupid. Send me. I want to leave. I want to go to your sister's house early. So he left and went to his daughter's house and did the same thing out there in California. So stop telling me that man was lying when he wasn't, because we know he ain't. Because I'm going to give you one. I'm going to piss everybody off. I lived in a place called the East Side. Cause back then, it was during the time Springfield was in the down period before the whites moved back in and started buying up everything again. All these Asian families started living on the street, I think 5th Street. They had packs and packs of wild dogs. I ain't saying they did it. But we used to ride down that street on our bikes just so the dogs could chase us. So one night, she said, oh man, hey, let's go down 5th Street through the dog street. All right, cool. We turned there, we would say, pick it up. Then now we didn't hear so much. We ain't hear nothing. And one of the dudes say, man, since them people moved in over here, ain't no dogs over here. And we know the dog can take. So I'm telling you what people, there's a quiet knowledge about a lot of stuff that go on. There's a quiet knowledge about a lot of stuff that go on. So for me, I'm not saying all folk do it, but I do know that in Jacksonville, they call a Chinese restaurant with cats in the freezer. I'm just saying.
All right. We definitely going to have you back, man, Mr. Campbell. I appreciate your time, your honesty, and keeping it 100 with everything with us. And we definitely got to get my hand on that book. So send me the information, post it on our site, and we definitely going to send you a link to this interview. We definitely got to have you back, bro. We definitely love you over here at Square Room Magazine, man.
Hey, man, thank you so much for having me. God bless you. Have a good day.
You too, my brother.